So it will in turn read it from this log file only, but in a proper somewhat separate. For each messages you can see some separate tab, and it's easy for you to filter and find out. So the same log you can check from this NetWeaver administrator or the OS level. When system is running, you can check from both the places, but for some reason the system itself is not coming up, and I want to check the logs, means you can't check from this NetWeaver administrator because it will not open when the system is down. But still, this OS file will be accessible even when the system is down or system is up, so you can come and check here. It all depends from where we have to check, whichever is comfortable for you. So this is something similar to SM21 in SAP GU ABAP stack. This is something you check. Similarly, most of the monitoring kind of work we do from here. Okay, and one more thing. Config. If we go to configurations. Go to Java system properties. So see, for this system, for Java system, we mainly maintain it for individual some parameters. Some parameters we maintain in the profile directory itself, but some Java specific parameters we come here and maintain it here. Like if I go to any one, there'll be individual parameters will be there here. So we can change it from this NetWeaver administrator. This is one place we can change it. And for Java system administration, there is something called a config tool. OS level tool is also there. Config tool. So this is a tool where we can change some of the system parameters even without logging into the system. And maybe when the system is down also, for some reason my system is not coming up, something has changed, then I have to go and check what are the properties are there. Then I can use config tool to, on this OS level tool, I can open it and check the properties. So this, for opening, this is a OS level tool. Need not be running to use this tool. System can be also down, but the database should be running because it directly should be running. If you open this NetWeaver administrator, it goes to the SAP application layer. Then SAP application layer reads from the database. This config tool directly opens the details from the database. So system need not be running. So, but the database should be running. How you open a config tool is, see the config tool location is, where are we now? Okay. So user SAP SID instance J2EE, there will be a folder called config tool. So this is the location where this config tool is located. And how that exe name will be config tool.sh. So if we go to this folder and see, there will be config tool.sh. See, there will be two files, config tool.sh, config tool.bat. So this bat, when you are running this on a Windows system, when your SAP is running on a Windows system, you can directly click on this bat file and it will open the tool. But when you run it on a Java system, you have to use this. When you run on Unix, you have to use this .sh file. .bat is for Windows systems. .sh is for Linux systems. But the problem here is this will open in a window. So when I in a new window, it will open like a normal window. But in Windows, I can double click on it and it will open because Windows is GUI supported. But my Linux does not have a GUI support by default. So when I open it, it will tell there is no. It will give some error. It will tell there is no GUI connected. So something like this. So I cannot open this window here. So there will not be any window opening here since my Linux is not supported. For that, we have a separate tool where in case we have to open this GUI interface on a Linux, there is something called similar to putty. We use this WinSH term to connect to this terminal, right? Here this is something like a command line. If you want to do something like a graphic interface there, we have to use a different tool to connect. Okay, similar. If I connect using this tool, this will have support for a GUI. So I go to this USR SAP P1 J30 J2EE. Then in Linux, if you want to execute something in Windows, you would directly double click it. But in Windows, if you want to execute something, you have to use /. / means execute that command. So I'll execute this. I'm executing this. Config tool. Sorry, I used the wrong command. Config tool.sh. Config. I think here also that's the reason I think okay. Not console config, it's config tool.sh. That's what I mentioned here, right? Config tool.sh. If I open this putty, it will not open. It will say no GUI connected. It will not open anything. It will say somewhere no GUI. So I have to use this tool, config tool.sh. It would take some time for it to open. Okay. So this is the OS level tool, config tool. It will open something like a normal Windows screen. So here also we can go and if we expand this, here similarly the NetWeaver we saw the instance numbers and all, right, 30, 40. We can see the same details here. And if we want to change some properties, we can go to that particular instance and any of the particular service and properties. Here, okay. If we expand this, there will be something called a global. See here, you see managers, services, and all. Here, if you see, there are some services. The same thing will be listed in particular instance also. If you go to here, the same thing, the services will be here. So the reason is here this one is this is called a global properties. Similar to in GUI, there will be something called a default profile. When you maintain some parameter, it's applicable to all the servers. Or if you want to maintain individual value, different values, you can go to instance and change it. Similarly, if I want to change some properties for this instance alone, what I will do is I'll open this instance. It's loading. Okay, I'll open this instance, expand it. I can maintain this some whatever parameters I want to change. I can change it specifically for this instance. But if I want to change something on a global level, then I will expand this services. I will change it here. If I'm changing it in the global level, it is applicable to all the application servers in this landscape. But if I want to override some settings specific to this server, then I go to this particular services and I will change the value here. This will override whatever is there maintained in the global. So I'm taking this example instance. Here we can define on this instance how many server. This is where we define how many server process we have. By default in development system, I add only one. So when I change it to 2, it will create one more server process. When I change it to 3, it will create one. It will create server. Now we have 2, so it has server 0 and server 1. When I change it to 3, one more process will get created, server 2. Something like that. I can increase it here. I can change something like the how much memory I'm allocating it. I think yesterday you had a session on the memory areas for ABAP, right? External memory, heap memory, something like that.
Yes.
Similarly, Java has also something called a memory concept. Like it will be like heap memory, permitted menu size. So these are the memory parameters for Java. So we can change it here for a particular instance. You can go and update it here. We can do it here, or the same settings we can do it in NetWeaver administrator also. When I go to here, VM memory parameters, I have the same details here also. If you check, it will be the same global area, initial heap size, maximum heap size. So it will be the same. Whatever I can change it in. Earlier we used to change only in config tool. In older versions, in NetWeaver administrator, we did not have these options. We would be changing only in config tool. Now, as with these newer versions, SAP is including the functionality in the NetWeaver administrator itself. So it's easy to change it in instead of opening this OS tool. This is something more easy to change it. But still, we use config tool in case my application is not starting. I have maintained some wrong parameter. My application itself is not starting. So so in that case, if I want to go change those values, I will change the values in this config tool. Without my application running also, I can change the value here. And because it's directly goes and update the database. So this is how you do okay. And this is OS level tool. If you see, this config tool is one OS level tool. There is one another tool called JSPM. Where are we? We're in config tool, right? Similarly, this location, there will be a folder called JSPM. This is one more tool for Java. JSPM is Java Support Pack Manager. Similar to spam or saint in ABAP, we use JSPM for Java systems to apply any patches or any upgrade. This JSPM is the tool equivalent of spam in ABAP. So this is tool for applying support packs for Java instance. But now these are all like the spam, JSPM and all, they're older tools. Like it was used like 5 years back, we used the spam or JSPM to do any upgrades. But now SAP has like the tool is still there, but SAP suggests we should not use those tools to upgrade. Now they have released something called some tool. This is software upgrade manager. So this is a different tool SAP has released, like 3, 4, maybe not 3, even 5, 6 years back. They released this tool, and they told this is the single tool to do any upgrades for ABAP or Java or any system. This tool in turn will call spam or JSPM, but we have to use this tool only. We shouldn't directly use JSPM now for latest versions. But still, the EXCs will be there, but we will not be using it. But just for knowledge purpose, no, JSPM config tool. So these are two OS level tools for a Java system. But nowadays we are not using this much. In older system we used to use this a lot, but now we are reduced using it. Config tool. Okay, there is one more tool called SDM. This also like software deployment manager. It will be located in this location. They even retailed it in new systems. In new systems, they even removed that STM. Maybe in older systems, it might be there. This is an older version. No, I think they all remove this. I think this topic study. This is for some. I think it's for older version of training topics. But now, if you see these visual admin, they are visual admin nowadays. It was there before. That's also similar to config tool. Visual admin also similar tool. You open in a GUI screen and make some configurations when system is running. But now SAP has totally removed that tool. You don't even see that folder now. So these are all old tools: JSPM, SDM. SDM is software deployment manager. If you want to deploy some small package or something, you can use SDM or Telnet. Nowadays, these are all like we are not using these tools. But this JCMon, we can see what is that JCMon. So JCMon is a OS level tool. What it does it? Did we discuss about DPMon? Did Arun discuss you about DPMon, where we can see on the OS level tool the work process running status and all? I don't remember discussing it. Did Arun discuss it?
No, DPMon. No, I don't remember it.
Okay, if you see for Java system, I think I remember seeing CD Pro. That is the OS level tool for PF equal to, if you give this profile. So OS level tool where we can monitor similar to SM51, we can monitor. If for some reason we want to monitor it from the OS level itself without logging into the system. So I can use this DPMon. Here you can see how many work processes, what is the status. You go to menu. Okay, dispatcher work process admin table. Okay. If you see this, whatever you see in SM50, you can see it from the OS level itself. For some reason, you are not able to log into the system. Everything, all the work processes are occupied. So you cannot check it from logging into the system. So in that case, we can check it from the operating system itself. That is the DPMon for a web system. For similarly for a Java system, we use JCMon. It is Java Communication Monitor. Switch user. what I do is I give JC mon, and I have to give PF equal to which system I want to monitor. If I want to monitor this 03, I will give this profile parameter. So I'll go to here. There are a lot of options available. You can either start, stop system from using this one. The main purpose is, so this SOG, okay, I'll use this system. CD. It's like you have to like, I think I should have told you before. When I type JCMon PF, it will give warning, press yes. Then if you see here, you will see a number and menu. How you have to go to, it's like a menu item in here you go to menu right here. Similarly, since we don't have a GUI here, how you choose the menu is, if I want to use this menu, I have to type this number, whatever number is there here. So if I want to use this menu, I have to type this number here. Now I want to go to this menu. So I'll type 10 and enter. Next to go to us, this is something like a sub menu. Now here, within here, I have to go to this option, process administration menu. So this number for it is 21. So I give 21. So it will go take me to the process administration menu. So here, if you see, okay, this NetWeaver, the same thing which you saw in NetWeaver administrator, NWA. This is for, okay, start, stop. This is for real. The same details you see, there'll be it will show list what are the instance running. You can see the same details here. So now if I want to, here I go and select that instance, right? I want to monitor 30, what are the process running? I click here. Similarly here, if I want to monitor this 30, so in for this the number is 0. I would type 0, then it will take me inside that. So within this 30, what everything is running, what are things running. So if I see here, it says server 0 running, server 1 running, right? You see the same details here. So it's like administration. Here you can come and see whether all processes are running or not. For some reason, I started the system, but when I open this URL page, nothing opens up. It says page is not available. It means some process is not running, something is not started up properly. So then you use this JCMon and come and check here. So everything is running. So what is my system status? So you can see all process running. So what is my status running? So if there is some failure, then you can check it from here. Or you can, if I want to restart that particular process alone, I can come here and restart that process if it's not running. So this is what JCMon is, some OS level monitoring and administration tool for Java stack. DPMon is for ABAP stack. I think you saw about this load balancing of a base Java cluster. Java cluster, these I have a document, but these are all like old documents. They're like very old documents. I don't have. We don't have any proper. Okay, this is somewhat. See this. If you see this, this is the whole system. Okay, so this will interact with the database. So we have a central services where we have this message server and queue services running, that SCS instance number. Within application server, if you see, there will be ICM process and server process. So what this ICM does, it's whenever I call an URL or something, so it will first go and hits the ICM. ICM is the Internet Communication Manager. So it goes and hits the ICM Communication Manager, Internet Communication Manager. What this server process does, it actually then it will hand over the task to the server process. This server process speaks with the DB, communicates with the DB, and does the actual work. Also, it has to speak with the NQ services for acquiring any database log. So if there are 2-3 server process, everything will be speaking to the same NQ service. So if to have if this want to acquire any log, it will use the message NQ servicing functionality. But the actual work is done by the server process. So this is for one system. Or if you have like multiple servers. So here you have multiple servers. So in that case, you will have separate internet communication. This is one server. First one is boxes one server. You have a separate one ICM. There are 3 server process. So in our example here, for one instance, we have one ICM, 2 server process. If I add one more server process, then this image will is the same similar one. There will be one ICM server process on this server. There are multiple servers. There will be only one central services, which is message server and encrypt services. So all there will be can be only one database. So all server process will talk to this database. Web client is something like the URL browser. So the URL browser, we can directly call any of the internet service directly, or I can have a web dispatcher in between the web client and internet communication manager. I can have a web dispatcher here. So my web client can call the web dispatcher, which indirects does a load balancing of this traffic. So this is like a very high level overview of Java architecture. There is, I don't, there is. I think there's this message server central services. It can run either on any one of the application server itself, or this message server can run on a separate VM altogether. Yeah, for when there is a high availability requirement for production server. Take the case. Where did we see it? Okay. Assuming if this message server is running on this VM, so if you take these last 2 boxes, if you club it as one box, assuming this message server is running on this any one of the application, what happens if this VM, this server goes down? It means my message server service also will be killed. So it's equivalent to once this message services goes down, there is no, even though these 2 servers are still running, it's not failed, but there is no use of me running the system, because without this message central services, the system cannot do any transaction, because this controls the process. So For that is the reason in non-production system it might run along with the same server. It doesn't make an impact. Even if it fails, it will not make any impact. But for production systems, what they do is this service alone, they will install it on a separate VM. So if any one of this VM also, if this VM goes down, it does not, this two since this two VM still function, these two process, because my message server is separately. Even this two VM is has gone down, still I can operate my system with this one application server. Only when this central service itself goes down, then I would be having a problem. For that also, there is something, we have something on a for high availability system, we call something called NQ replication server is there. I think we touched it briefly sometime last week. This message server itself will be replicating it on a different VM. So if even this VM goes down, that VM will take over, something that's high availability architecture. Java cluster architecture. Okay, I think maybe I'll give this URL. Same thing only, I think. This, I think, whatever I told, I think this is SAP standard SAP documentation. So I think whatever diagram I referred, that's correct only. Okay, I'll give this URL. This is about the Java cluster architecture, and so you will have details about the web dispatcher also under load balancing AS Java. You will have, if you click on this web dispatcher, you can go and study about the web dispatcher. So what the web dispatcher does, so you have those details. But I think this page should be enough for you to get an overview how this Java architecture works. Any questions so far?
No. Prasanna, share your notes also.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is wrong. Sorry, HTTP would be 8000. This would be, I'll delete this message. Where this came. Okay. So this is about this Java stack, and I think you were able to connect to the. Did you connect to the VPN yesterday and check it? How did you get this IP? Arun gave you this IP.
Yes, yes. I have used.
Sorry.
No, actually, no one gave us the IP actually.
Okay, then how did you log into the VPN and check?
1 minute.
Give us the access. There is a login ID and password.
Okay, but you didn't try connecting it, right?
It's shown connected there.
Sorry, I'm not able to hear you clearly.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello, Prasanna.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we are connecting to our Open VPN, then we are connected to a port at 35.190.129.66.
Yeah, you have to connect with that
Get
IP.
connected or yes.
Then you have to give a username password.
No, it will get connected automatically, I think. Whenever I yes, whenever I open the shortcut, it get connected and
No, it can't connect. Do you see this icon? Something like a green color arrow. It should say connected. Without you giving username password, it won't get connected.
no, it get connected. Let me share my screen.
Okay, okay.
So see.
Yeah, I'm able to see it.
Okay, so now it is disconnected, and when I open this shortcut, it will automatically correct me. Wait. Let's see.
Okay.
I get connected.
Can you go open command prompt and type this command? One moment. I'll put it in the chat. Open command prompt and type. Is it an option to save password? I haven't never used it. Every time I give the password and log in. Okay.
Okay, Prasanna, you take the control of my laptop and.
No, I don't know nothing. Just I'm pinging this.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Just open command prompt. Go to Windows R. Type Windows R.
So this command
Yeah.
prompt, huh?
Yep.
Okay. So I have to run this. Being request could not be find host. Please check the name and try again.
Yes. Can you give me control?
Okay, ask.
1 minute. I'll be back.
उसके बाद ऑटोमेटिकली जैसे कनेक्ट करोगे नाम